The photographer's psychology, what the camera reveals about the person behind it. There is a quiet truth about photography that often gets overlooked. Every photograph is a decision. And every decision reveals a mind. Not just what the photographer sees, but how they see. Because the camera is not a neutral tool. It becomes an extension of attention, memory, emotion, and instinct. And over time, a photographer's work begins to reveal something subtle but unavoidable. They are not only capturing the world. They are organizing it through their psychology. At the most basic level, photography begins with selection. Out of everything in front of the lens, something is chosen. A face instead of a crowd. A shadow instead of a full scene. A fraction of a second preserved as if it defines something eternal. But selection is never random. It is shaped by what the photographer notices first, and what they consistently overlook. Some are drawn to symmetry and control. Others to chaos and imperfection. Some search for connection in every frame, while others lean toward distance, abstraction, or silence. And none of these choices are purely technical. They are psychological fingerprints. Then comes framing. Framing is not just composition, it is interpretation. Two photographers can stand in the same place, at the same moment, and create entirely different realities. One centers the subject, emphasizing clarity and stability. Another cuts into the edges, suggesting tension, movement, or emotional unease. What is included matters, but what is excluded often says more. Because exclusion reveals attention boundaries, the invisible line between what the mind considers important and what it ignores. And those boundaries are formed long before the shutter clicks. Then there is timing. A photographer does not just capture what is there, but when it is captured. A smile becoming neutral, a gesture turning still, a moment of vulnerability slipping into composure. A fraction of a second changes everything. Some photographers wait quietly, observing, letting moments unfold naturally. Others anticipate aggressively, almost hunting emotional peaks. Neither approach is neutral. One reflects patience and surrender. The other reflects control and urgency. Both are psychological states made visible through images. Perhaps the most revealing layer is the relationship between photographer and subject. Because even in a brief encounter, there is always a relationship. Some photographers approach subjects with empathy, trying to understand them. Others maintain distance, treating them as form, shape, or concept. Neither is automatically right or wrong, but each creates a different emotional imprint. You can often feel it in the final image, whether the subject was truly seen, or simply recorded. And then there is projection. Photographers do not only capture reality, they interpret it through themselves. A melancholic mind may find sadness in neutral scenes. A nostalgic one may see longing in ordinary light. A restless observer may frame the world as unstable or unfinished. The camera becomes a mirror, not just of the world, but of the photographer's inner state. This is why photography feels personal, even when the subject is unfamiliar. You are not only seeing what was there, you are seeing how someone experienced it. Over time, this leads to a deeper question. Is photography a way of documenting the world? Or a way of revealing the self? Because as photographers evolve, their images change with them. Subjects shift. Framing shifts. Emotional tone shifts. Sometimes even without conscious intention. Grief alters distance. Confidence alters framing. Curiosity alters timing. Burnout alters attention itself. The camera does not separate the photographer from the photograph. It reflects them. And yet, this is not a limitation. It is what gives photography its depth. Without psychology, images would be accurate, but empty. They would show what exists, but not what it feels like to notice it. Meaning lives in the hesitation before the shutter. In the decision to move closer or step back. In the instinct to wait one more second. Not in perfection, but in perception. In the end, the photographer is always present in the image. Not as a figure in the frame, but as a way of seeing. And maybe the most important question is not what the photographer captures, but what their way of seeing quietly reveals about them.